Okay, bought this for the Cuda tire pressure monitors with a built-in GPS. So it's a GPS unit, and here's the GPS unit. But along with that, in the power cord input, it has this little device here, which is some kind of receiver that talks to the 4 tire pressure monitors. See, this one says right front. The other ones are out in the car already. I'm going to put them on. Comes with the sensors. Here's the left front. The other 2 are outside already. I'm about to install them. I bought these because they actually go inside the wheel. Might have to have them rebalanced. And they're all marked already because they're already programmed to talk to the unit. And this is the kind that doesn't just screw onto the valve stem. These are the actual valve stems like the modern cars. And this goes inside the wheel. So we're going to take off the wheels and I'm going to install these. Let's do the 2 rear ones first, and show you how I do that with my Harbor Freight bead breaker. All right, so here's the Cuda. Always wanted some kind of tire pressure monitoring system since I drive a lot and I want to know what the tires are doing if suddenly I pick something up and one of the tires starts going flat. It happened to me a while ago where I picked up something on the highway. So we're going to do the right front first, right rear first. I've got it jacked up with the floor jack underneath the pumpkin, and I've got the lug nuts loose. Already cracked them loose. So let me get this off and then we'll show the install. All right, so all the lug nuts are loose or off. Grab the wheel, jack it up some more. Gonna have to pull the valve stem out and let all the air out, but there's my Harbor Freight. It's a tire monitor bead breaker. I mainly use it to bead breaker, but it was in my other videos. All right, let me get this valve stem out and get all the air out of this tire. Sorry about the sound. It's 98 degrees out here. So I've got my fan going on me because it's so hot. Just got to get stuff done. Gonna pull the valve stem out. And here are the 2 sensors I'm going to put in the rear. It says right rear and left rear. So this is the right rear. So need my hands. So let's take this valve stem off. We're going to break the bead with the tool and then take that valve stem off. All right, I hope you can hear this. Here's the tool. All the air's out. Shove this in there like this. It's that easy. See, it breaks the bead. You're gonna either take 1 or 2 2x4s, smalls like this, and you can stick it in there. And now it lets you work on that valve stem to get it out of there. that, so now I can put the new one in. Got to make sure, I don't know what angle that needs because that's a little bit adjustable. So I didn't tighten that screw yet. I want to see how this tightens down in there. So I'm just going to trial fit it. See what position that sensor has to be in. So the valve stem sits flat. Okay, so it looks like, hold on here, I'm going to tighten this down all the way down at that angle, tighten that screw so I can tighten the valve stem, and then let the bead reseat, and then put the air back in, take my board off. 2x4. Alright, so you can see this is adjustable. So it looks like I need it laying all the way down like that to get the valve stem to point the right way. And this takes T25. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm going to angle it the way I need it. Tighten this. No real connection between the valve stem and this unit besides the mount, because I guess all it does is let the air in from here to that little hole, and this is just in now inside the pressurized tire, so it picks up the signals. Looks like there's a little hole there. So let's get this thing mounted. It's going to go in like this because the valve stem is angled up this way. There's a rubber gasket at the bottom, and then a plastic washer, and then a steel washer. Put the steel washer in first, and then the plastic washer to keep the friction off of it when you're spinning the nut. Alright, that's it. Let's show you up close. There's the valve stem. And there's the nut we tightened it with on top. And there's the unit. Up against the wheel. So now I just release the 2x4. And I'll just put air back in, and the bead should reseal. Since I only broke off this one section here. Alright, let's get that thing aired up. Goes. And it pops. Turn off my little compressor. My little compressor I got at a swap meet for I think it was $40. It had a bad bearing on the motor, which I got off the eBay. So I fixed that, and that's my little portable compressor, and I don't have to kick on the 60-gallon. So yeah, here's the cap. I'll check the pressure once they're all back on the car. But yeah, it takes less than 5 minutes to put this on if I wasn't filming. So I'm just showing how to put those sensors in. And I'm gonna remount this tire and do the other 3, but this is just showing how to do the 1. I'm not gonna bore you with all 3, and I'll show how the system is reading once I get all 4 of these on. And this is the old valve stem I had on here. They're just custom metal valve stems with a chrome cap. So I don't know if I'm gonna use the chrome cap on this. The chrome cap has its own little rubber seal in there too, so I'll probably just use the chrome cap. Just for show. That's it. That's what it looks like. Left rear. I don't take the nut all the way off so it doesn't fall deeper into the tire when I break the bead. So that's how we do it. Alright, there's the tool. This is the Harbor Freight deal. I don't know if they re-strengthened that, but I had to add a piece and weld it in because this piece kept going cockeyed sometimes and was bending. So I welded a piece in there to keep it straight. Alright, need both my hands. Here's the close-up view of the valve stem. The new one, left rear. Like I was showing, there's the cap. The nut, metal washer, fiber washer, and then the rubber washer seal. Alright, so I even thinking the plastic washer goes in first after the seal. Okay, so let's put this in there. Alright, sorry, I need my hands. There we go. Let's see if we can do this. Plastic washer, metal washer, cap. Because that's how it was in the package when I opened up the valve stem. Alright, so let's get this tight. Getting it centered. One more ratchet. There we go. Make sure it's centered with my hand. Take a look at it. See that? Sorry. There's so much glare out here. There you go. Alright, so then push the tire down, take out my wood. And then put the air back in. It pops right in there. Woo, it's hot out here. Almost 100 degrees now. All 4 tires are back on. Lug nuts are torqued. The fronts are on. There's that funny looking valve stem. So all 4 are mounted. If it wasn't so hot, I probably could have had it done a lot sooner, but just taking my time. All 4 of them are mounted, and let's get this thing set up. Okay, let's power this unit on. All 4 sensors are installed in the tires. Tires are back on the car. So like I said before, if this little inline receiver isn't in the power cord, in series with the power cord going to the unit, it'll just act like a GPS. So let's plug this thing in. It comes with a cigarette lighter plug, but I have so many USB outlets in this car. There's 2 down there, 2 cigarette lighter plugs there. This is a USB-C and this is a regular USB. So I just have a cable from inside going to this unit. So here it is powering on. Alright, so, it goes right to the car sensor part. Nothing's there yet. Oh, look at that, 36 PSI just popped up. I did actually see on eBay somebody is selling another unit. It's just an app with the 4 sensors. So it looks like it uses 2.4 gigahertz like your Wi-Fi signal. And the caps, the sending units screw onto the valve stem as caps. And then it looks like you use your phone and it's using the Wi-Fi signal, I guess, to run this app. So then you'd always have to have your phone running this app to know if your sensors are reading correctly or a tire's going flat. So that's why I wanted this unit. because I don't want to always have my phone on. And this will always be either in GPS mode, and it's set to trigger. See, there's another one just popped up. I set them all to 36 before I remounted the tires onto the car. So let's see how long it takes for these other two to pop up. I just want this unit so that when I'm driving long distance and not paying attention, it's just like my newer cars. A tire starts losing pressure and then it alerts you right away. That way you're just not driving and start ruining the tire where it's not repairable because you just tore it up driving on a flat. Alright, so come on. See how long this takes. Two more. Alright, so this is real time how long this is taking, but oh, there's another one popped up. So you can see since I turned it on, since I plugged in the power cord back there, and these three popped up, it wasn't that long, just a few minutes. But while we're waiting on that, let's see. Gives you other settings here, like it actually has these 4 sending units configured, because look, so I guess if you, oh, there's where you can set your alarms. High pressure alert 44, low pressure 26, temperature, which is pretty cool. That way it just sets off an alarm depending on your speaker volume. Like I said, there's a default, but I didn't change anything since I turned this on, so that's must be all the default settings. So let's cancel. Still waiting on that one. Let's see what else we have. They're the, I guess, the addresses of the 4 different sending units, where you'd have to configure it. Or like if one of them went bad, I'm sure there's some way you can enter the new number in there and get its ID talking to the program. Alright, let's go back, see if the last tire, oh, there it goes, just popped up. Alright, so that was it. That's the installation. We'll see about driving around and watching this. But boy, I've had this GPS for over 10 years. I use it for everything besides my phone and Waze. I have 3 of these units with lifetime maps. So with this GPS, I think it's using Google just like your phone would, or Waze would, because yeah, there's nothing to update, and I can look up addresses like it's using the web or Google to find addresses instead of like the maps. These are loaded in the maps into the memory card. So whenever I plan a trip, it'll download it, and then if I lose signal, say cell signal with my phone on Waze, that map is stored onto the SIM card. That's why I wanted an old GPS instead of using my phone. Sometimes I'll be using my phone. We're on the hot rod power tour in the middle of mountains. We'd lose cell signal and suddenly you'd lose your maps. So that's why I always have another GPS, a Garmin Lifetime Maps. And we'll start trying this one, because if this one's using cell towers also, besides the satellites up in space, I'll have to see what happens once it loses cell signal. If it's going to have everything in memory. It did let me put a memory chip in there, memory card. So I'm not sure what it needs that for. Haven't really found that in the manual yet. So we'll try this, but that's the installation of these tire pressure monitoring system units. So like I said, I wanted to get the one with the internal wheel sensors, not the ones that screw onto the caps, onto the stems. The other ones, I might get that one for my trailer. There's a unit that goes on your dash and it's communicating with your trailer tires. So there's I carry 2 spares and there's 4 tires on that trailer over there. Just a regular open trailer. But I want to know when those tires are getting hot or when they're underinflated, because that'll make your day go bad all of a sudden very quickly. Okay, let's get this published. And we'll see how these, if I need to add another video for an update later, I'll do that. But we're going to drive around and try this out and see how it works. All right, for those of you who are wondering what this cost, to close out this video, here's one for sale just like the one I got. Mine was less than $35 with tax. Here's another one right here, $33.99. And it's the exact same one I have. So wheel sensors are inside the tires, the pressure sensors, and it's also a GPS. So if you want to try it, I was telling the guy, hey, this wasn't brand new when I received the delivery, because I could tell the seal was already broken, the plastic bags weren't exactly, you could tell somebody had opened it and put it back in the bag. So I said, hey, this wasn't new. You advertised it as new. And this is not the unit I bought. It's one similar to it. So this is another active auction on eBay. I buy it now. So I'm just saying, the guy said, hey, I'll give you a full refund if you're not satisfied. And I told him, no, it was only $35. I'm not worried about the $35. I want this unit and I'll try it, see how it works, and I'll keep it. And that was it. So this is what I bought right here. It's all over eBay, probably even on Amazon. Tire Insight by ITM. Not sure how long the batteries last in the pressure sensing units, the transmitters, but we'll find out. So this is August 17th, 2025, and I just installed them. So let's see how long the batteries last. All right, so retired now. Every day is a Saturday. Living life. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.